right this time. Welcome back to the Movie Couple channel and welcome to our live stream. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And hope you guys are having a good Wednesday as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We padded the show with just a couple of the news that we found fun and entertaining, and something that we feel like we can definitely chat about. So we're definitely going to be chatting about those. And we want to also touch on what, as you all know, have been happening in our country.
Across the United
States. Also, as well, protests are happening in other countries as well. So almost like internationally. It's been really hard to put any of this into words because it's more of...
It's weird. I mean,
it's not weird. It's just, well, I don't want to invalidate your feelings on this. Dustin calls it doom scrolling.
No, yeah, when you're going like through any kind of social media and you're just looking, you're kind of searching for something bad to have happened. You're like, oh my God, is there anything going on? And yeah, you're pretty much doom scrolling.
Yes.
And I can't remember where I picked up that term from. I did not come up with it. I wish I could come up, take credit for it. But you know, it just can just drain you emotionally and physically, and to where it's just tough to get going on a day. So
yeah, all I want to do is, and I'm not going to cry on the stream or anything like that. There's no need to get dramatic here. But as I scroll through my Twitter and my Instagram, all I want to do is cry. My heart is breaking for just everything that is happening around here. No justice, no peace. And we stand with the Black community. We support in full Black Lives Matter. So for those of you who have been going out there protesting, thank you so much. Please stay safe. We have been seeing the good parts of the protest and the bad parts of the protest, as far as like things get violent because of other instigators who are not there to support the cause, but there for other things. So if you do go, please just have a buddy system. Be safe, and
do some research too on what to take, what not to take. Please be careful out there, because I mean, everyone who is going out there and doing all these peaceful protests, though, you are the people that are putting your lives on the line, not just because of the protest, but because of the pandemic that is out there.
Yes, that has
and
not gone
I
away
applaud
either.
your bravery, your determination, and you are really the people that are helping make this country a better place.
Yes, and thank you for those of you who have spoken up on the issue, who have donated. We've donated as well. So we're going to continue to always speak about this. This is not just a trending topic, it's a forever topic, because I think we need to continue to stay aware. So we just want to put that on top of the show and thank everybody for continuing to speak about it and fighting the good fight. And this is going to be a weird pivot, but we're going to go ahead and pivot into what we've been doing besides doom scrolling, I guess. One of the things, and we always usually start the show with what we're watching. And one of the things I learned last night, that the movie Just Mercy, starring Michael J. Fox, no, not Michael J. Fox, I'm sorry, Jamie Foxx, Michael B. Jordan, I wanted to mix the two together and said a completely different person, and Brie Larson. That is free. WB has released it to be free across all digital platforms. If you haven't watched the movie, I got to catch it at TIFF. It's fantastic. Please go ahead and take a look. If you're looking for something to watch, it's free. So if you're strapped for money because of the pandemic, that's something that you can do to kind of help entertain your night. It's a really, really good movie. Let's see. I got to go back to my notes because I will be, I have not been as focused lately.
It's very hard.
It's been very hard.
It's very hard to be able to be like, to stay on one project and not like get distracted into one direction. And then you go into another direction and then you're like, wait, 3 hours later, you're like, wait, I was trying to focus on getting something else done.
Yes.
And so we're trying our hardest to stay focused. I have a really bad problem with that.
Yes. So yeah, it's been hard to focus, so I'm going to refer to my notes a lot today. Usually I don't because I write them so I know what we're talking about already. But today I'm just like, what's in my brain? Talking about what else we've been watching lately, we recently watched, and the review is out as of early this morning. It's a movie by Studio Ghibli called Pompoko. It's about a group of Japanese raccoon, or they're actually called. I actually looked up the breed yesterday. It's not it's not like the same raccoons we get here in the States. They're like the Japanese raccoon dogs. I think they're called like Tanaku
or something. Yeah, they're a little different.
Taniku, something
but
like that.
I love the culture behind them and the transformation. I mean, the fact that they can transform and the fact that they are very mischievous but lazy at the same time. And I loved the setup for this movie. I thought it was just perfect to kind of fall into line with a lot of the Miyazaki films.
Yes.
About nature and humanity's impact on it.
Humanity.
And the fight between nature, spirit, and humanity.
Yes. And I always love that in these Studio Ghibli films. It's always about like the spiritual connection of like that one object or that one thing has, you know, and it's this great big message. And I remember when we first put on the movie and I was like, this is over 2 hours long. Are Ghibli films usually this long? And we don't really notice that. And hey, Jim, thank you so much for the super chat. We're going to get to it in 2 seconds. Wait, no, we're going to read it right now. It's funny because I just glanced at it. Thank you so much, Jim, for your super chat. I can't wait for the pandemic to be over so Dustin can get a better haircut. I'm just throwing shade at your haircut. But you do it at home.
This is my own haircut. What's wrong with my haircut? I like my short haircut. I'm quite attached to this. And
Tanuki,
the fact
Tanuki is what the Tanuki. Thank you, Adam.
But yeah, I mean, my haircut, I like the fact that I'm just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to shave and do my hair at the same time. So, but it would be nice to get it professionally done again.
Of course.
However, I mean, I guess it depends on what everyone else thinks too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one opinion that obviously matters, and that's yours.
I actually like
Wendy likes it. She's been going.
I like it. I noticed it yesterday. So you guys saw from when we went from quarantine hair Dustin to shaved head Dustin. And you said this is a 5, right?
Yes. No. Yes, a 5. And I was going to, a few days ago, I was like, oh, I'm going to trim it, but I'm going to work my way down because it got a little poofy. So what I did was.
Because his hair, really quick side note, it you know, hair all grows in different speeds too, I feel like, because the sides always go faster.
And plus, I've got like a whole bunch of calyx all over my hair, all over my head. I got like calyx, one here, and one here. So at certain lengths, they just go like, and they like, it's just like hair's all nice and normal, except for here, and here. If I'm not careful, I get like the alfalfa thing from Little Rascals popping up in the back of my head. So that's why like everything just needs to be like a uniform cut for me, or long enough to where I can like gel it back.
Oh my God, that's so. But I noticed yesterday, because I actually went out to the dentist yesterday and I came back and I was just talking to him and I was like, did you get a haircut? And he's like, I did it myself. And I was like, how does it feel? Because when we first did it, and there's a vlog on it, it took us days.
Well, what happened was because I didn't have the proper tools. So first I did the different phases of my beard cut. And then once I finally got the big clippers, then I was able to go through everything and get it nice and level and straight, as opposed to me trying to do it with this little clippers.
So yeah, I don't know. I like it. I mean, obviously it's not professionally done. Like, the person that we go to, she takes different lengths and she's got like, you know, the technique, like the skills and everything.
I do not have those skills.
We don't have that, and it's just easier for him to just go. But I still think that the comment's kind of funny. Sorry, a little laugh at your expense.
That's okay. But honestly, I like it, and I think I'm probably going to keep it because then I'm saving a lot of money and it's super easy to take care of.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see, what else have we been up to? Were we talking about something else before this?
Yeah, the Pompoko.
But
movie. It's a great movie. Yes. I love it. It's honestly, I'm a little bummed that it took us this long. It's only because HBO Max now has a ton of Studio Ghibli's films, so we are now going to be watching all of them, and I'm probably going to be rewatching Spirited Away, How's Moving Castle.
We're going to rewatch it. I think those we actually have on DVD anyways. I think we have those. But like what's the cat? Good. What's the cat one?
The cat comes back.
The cat, yeah.
The cat came back or something. But yeah, we need to watch that one.
Rosso Porco, I think.
Yeah,
Porco Rosso,
the flying pig.
The pilot. Yeah, we have to watch those. And something about Marnie. I don't remember any of the titles right now. Like again, my brain has been completely fuzzy all this entire week, but yeah, we love Studio Ghibli films, but we tend to usually repeatedly watch what we know. So it's perfect that HBO has a selection of them now, so that we can watch them. I'm gonna.
Any recommendations on not some of the really big names of Studio Ghibli's, but some of the smaller names, smaller titles that didn't quite get a wide release that you guys have seen and recommend? Put them down in the comment section or down in the chat, and we're going to try slowly going through all of them.
We're going to probably watch either that, or we're going to watch Just Mercy again tonight. Let's see what some of you guys are saying in the chat. Blade says, yeah, a good clipper is a must. He actually has some tips. He says he usually does a 3 with a 1 on the side and blend it down to a 2. It sounds so easy, but then I feel like when you have the clipper in your hand, you're like, no.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking for me because I've only done it twice. Yeah. And also the thing is, I don't have a 3. I have a 6, a 5, a 4, a 2, and then like a 1 1/4. It's an old kit that my mom was just like, oh, we have an extra one that we got here. You can take this one. And I was like, okay, cool. It's going to suit my purposes. Yeah. But yeah, next time I cut it down, I think I'm going to go down to a 4 and see how that works out.
Yes. And thank you, Adam, for the reminder for what that movie is called is When Marnie Was Here.
Oh,
and I heard that one is pretty good. Debbie says, would love to see both Spirited Away and House Movie Castle, but I don't have HBO Max. Oh, no. Well, if you have the funds, I think they're probably available for purchase or rent on Amazon Prime if you have Amazon Prime. So
you can probably rent them for like a couple bucks.
And I think sometimes YouTube do that too. They rent movies on YouTube because I've watched a couple of movies. I think that's how I watched yesterday.
Oh,
was on YouTube. So yeah.
No, there's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options. And then Adam also recommends Porco Rosso, Whisper of the Heart, and The Cat Returns.
Cat Returns.
You know what it is when he said the cat comes back? Because this song.
The cat came back the very next day.
Oh man. Some of the other stuff that I've been doing, and I won't put it down, is Animal Crossing. We're still at it. I caught I think it's the second biggest fish in the game yesterday because it was raining.
And a great white.
And I felt bad because we were kind of just talking about the protests and everything that's going on. And to distract myself, I picked up the game. I was like, I'm going to play for like 30 minutes.
And of course, I was on YouTube doom scrolling, trying to find news reports, trying to find out what's going on. Honestly, a lot of the news reports that I saw yesterday actually gave me a lot of hope and a lot of, hey, this is going very well. There hasn't been looting. There hasn't been any big, there wasn't that big of a police presence, only in certain locations. Mostly
like central to LA, Hollywood.
Yeah. And it was actually really cool. But that's where my mind was when Wendy was playing Animal Crossing and I have no idea what she's doing at this point.
I was like this.
And all of a sudden she goes,
oh my God.
And I'm like, what? What happened? What happened? What's going on? I thought, oh my gosh, there's something terrible has happened down and she's like, I caught a big fish. And I'm
so sorry.
I literally, my heart just went, oh no! And I was freaking out. And yeah, Wendy caught a big fish. Now I'm honestly very happy that when she said, oh yeah, it's just this, I was like.
In hindsight,
afterwards, I was like, thank God it wasn't something bad.
Yes. So, at least it was a good, oh my God, like a good, very innocent, oh my God, as opposed to. Another life lost or something like that. And we're going to get to some super chats right now. Thank you so much, Chris Mendez, for our super chat. Yes. Favorite quick service and sit-down restaurant in both Disneyland and DCA, my Bengal BBQ and the Blue Bayou. DCA award wieners. I almost said winners and Carthay Circle. We actually have never had a sit down at Carthay Circle because we heard that it's quite expensive.
Yeah, we want to though.
So we want to go. We're just gonna have to make it maybe like on our next wedding anniversary or for Dustin's birthday.
Yeah, we were planning on doing going there for a big kind of celebration, birthday, anniversary, or something like that. But favorite walk up in in Disneyland.
DC. Okay.
First, let's start with unless you know yours right off the top of your head.
No, you go.
Okay, so probably mine in DC, and if you're looking for action, Bengal BBQ is really good. Freaking good.
Don't get their spam mushubi. Do not get it.
I was so disappointed in the spam.
Do not get it. That one's cold. That one's poo-poo. Don't get it.
But what I love actually doing with Bengal BBQ is ordering the food first. Is the mobile order. So you just walk on up. Hey, I'd like my order. Grab it and go. And you don't have to wait in that line. So I mean, Bengal BBQ is one of the tops. I mean, unless you start counting like all of the food carts.
Yeah.
Then you
can, I guess.
I mean, turkey leg. I love getting a turkey leg.
I like the elotes. Oh my god, they're so good.
Oh, the elotes are so good. And the corn dog.
I would have to say it's the Tropical Hideaway. Where the bows are, and you can get those different flavors and like the fully loaded Dole Whips. Oh my god, I miss it so much. The bows are so good, and they have the sweet, like the fried ones too. They're like a fried lumpia. Like the dessert lumpia, which I like. I kind of also want them to sell regular lumpia because I do love it. But I would say that's my favorite place to go for that and Ronto Roasters in Galaxy's Edge.
Oh,
for a
yeah.
I actually
Ronto Roasters. Really
who
good.
knew I was gonna miss a space hot dog? Like who knew? And then sit down at Disneyland. I have to give it to the Blue Bayou because that's where we had our post engagement dinner. So that's always going to be very special for me.
It'll always hold a special place in our hearts. Yeah.
And then for DCA,
the best sit down place that we getting that clam chowder at the pier is really good.
Oh, okay, that'll give for walk up. For sit down when the Pixar bar pier thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We went there for my birthday, and there's a vlog about it.
And they have the lobster nachos.
And the salad was actually pretty good too. Who knew? Oh my gosh! So those are some of our favorite places to go and eat in Disney, and I feel like honestly, it's like such a distant memory because I'm like I don't remember any of it. Our question to you guys is that, if Disney food was available for deliveries, like, via like a Grubhub or whatever Disney service they come out with, what would you order? What are some of the things that you would order via, if this like hypothetical delivery service food would turn up, fresh, hot, at your doorstep?
Like if you ordered the lobster nachos, you wouldn't have to worry about having soggy nachos by the time it got there. We're adding some Disney magic in there.
Yes.
So what kind of food would you have delivered to your house?
And I gotta shout out the other Disney cast member that's in our chat, Adam, who says Cafe Orleans, yes. Tropical Hideaway, yes. Ronto Roasters, yes. Who knew? I honestly, I remember I wasn't even that excited about Ronto Roasters until I ate one. I was like,
this is pretty
good. And I also want to get to the super chat by Vanja. Thank you so much for your support. Vanja says, hey Wendy, I saw you are good with Louis Tan, who worked with Ali Lanides? Sure. I'm sorry, I'm saying that totally wrong, which I have a crush on. Can you ask him what she like and about her not asking for a hookup, but finger crosses it happens. I mean, I can certainly message Louis, but I feel like,
put a little good word in for you.
Yeah, Louis and we met a couple of times, and he's super cool, but I don't know. I'll be completely straight up and transparent with you. I don't know if he would answer that, but he's also pretty open on his Twitter if you want to try and DM him and ask him. Louis is a cool guy, and he's been going to all the protests and being very much like speaking up about everything that's been happening. So good on you, Louis.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She has been in what? Dylan Jones in Parenthood. Okay. And Into the Badlands.
Oh, okay.
That's the connection, because Louis is like a very skilled martial artist. Very, very skilled. So that totally makes sense. Yes, that's my answer for you. I mean, I'll DM Louis and see if anything happens, but I don't feel like that's a DM that he might. We'll see. I'll try. Let's see. Before we move on to our first news topic of the day, and thank you so much, Vanja, for your super chat. Some of the other people in the comments. Wait, hold on.
No, wrong button.
Gotta go. I just wanted to hit the right banner. I wanted to see what anyone else is saying about some of the food they might want to get delivered from Disneyland.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely want to get some of that clam chowder bowl from the pier.
Yeah.
And and a corn dog.
And a corn dog.
I miss corn dogs.
I would say a Dole Whip.
Ooh.
If they can keep it not drippy.
Frozen.
I would pick.
You're like, I know there's so many. What you actually have to do is kind of try to whittle it down to the one or two that, But yeah, definitely some Dole Whip. Yep. Definitely some of those bao buns.
Bao buns. I probably get a couple of the skewers, like the pork belly skewers. Really?
Those pork skewers were so good.
The pork belly skewers, I would probably get delivered. You would get popcorn?
Well, yeah.
But it would get a little stale.
It's Disney magic delivery. Tinkerbell's bringing it over, and I'm like, oh, thank you.
Debbie says, to be honest, I'd probably say all of them. Pork ribs and barbecue sauce. Yum.
Oh, what is it that we used to get, that they get at the DC did, California Adventures did their food festival, and it's the pork.
Oh, the pork adobo.
The pork adobo.
Oh my God. No, it was the pork belly.
Pork belly and fried rice?
With garlic fried rice. Basically put almost everything from all the food stalls from the Food and Wine Festival, and just like, you can just DoorDash it to me and I'll eat every single one of them. It's so good. It's like one of our favorite things to go and do.
Yeah.
When they have the event. A lot of people are saying yes, popcorn. So yeah. I'm the weird one.
My Disneyland shirt.
Yeah. Blake GTR says the pretzel with the cheese sauce was pretty good out there. Yep. Is there an option to buy a full box of corn dogs? Just get the cart, deliver the cart.
And then all you need to do is just like deep fried and you're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, it's the list is endless, and I like Adam's little note here that says the OC Register did say that there may be some consideration for doing food service delivery from Disneyland, so never say never. They probably, though, would only extend to OC areas, because otherwise, if the food's traveling for an excellent amount of time, then like the premium would have to go up for the delivery fee. You have to pay the driver for
and then your food would be. So it's almost better to go somewhere near Disneyland and be like, deliver it to this park. Yes. There will be someone there to get it from you.
And the Pure Bar we were talking about, thank you to Chris and Adam for saying this, is Lamplight Lounge.
That's what it is. Oh yeah, because they have all those lamplights in there. And those have all the little Pixar balls all over the place.
Yeah, so cute. Oh, I have to shout out my former workstation, Rancho del Zocalo in Frontierland, the Mexican restaurant. Dude.
Oh, yeah, especially when they did some of the holiday food there. It was good.
So good. We ate almost everything out, and we just kept on going back. Like, that was the day that we were supposed to like try a variety of things and like put it on our Instagram. We ended up like just going to that one spot, and we're like, let's just order more from here because it was so good. Like, forget everything else. Oh my gosh, and we have another super chat from Chris Mendes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Benyan's beef skewers from Bengal BBQ for delivery, and mini donuts. Oh my God, those are so good. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
From the Lamplight Lounge, that restaurant on the pier you mentioned. They come in a little box.
Yeah, I took Wendy there for her birthday that one year, and yeah, the food we got was amazing. I have to go back and check the vlog that we did.
Yes.
But yeah, we also got those mini donuts, and they were so good.
We got,
we come out of there just going, oh, I'm so full. But
and then an hour later, do you want to get beignets? Beignets.
It doesn't matter how full you get, there's always room for beignets.
Maybe one of these days we should just do like a full-on 1 hour of like favorite Disney food chat and why
that'd be fun.
Why we love them. Let us know in the chat if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, and maybe that's something we can work into our schedule. Thank you guys for all of your comments and replies and your super chats so far. You guys are awesome, and let's go ahead and roll into our very first show topic, is that we can now crown Carol Baskin as the Tiger Queen. And I cannot believe that we're actually getting more like Tiger King, Tiger Queen.
I know.
And it's kind of welcoming in the midst of all this like horrible stuff that's going on. This is a very nice, like very superficial news that's kind of like, sure, a nice distraction for a couple of minutes, before we kind of focus back on the main issue at hand. But yes, a federal judge ruled that that Joe Exotic has to hand over his zoo to Carol Baskin as a part of the $1 million trademark judgment. Basically, Carol Baskin's rescue, the Big Cat Rescue. Hey, what did she say?
Hey there, cool cat and kittens. Or
cool
something.
cat and kittens. It's Carol here down at Big Cat Rescue. Oh my God.
He plagiarized their name, their image.
Everything.
He did everything just to piss him off.
And she convinced a U.S. District Attorney judge in Oklahoma City that Joe Exotic fraudulently transferred the zoo properties to his mother in 2011 in order to keep the properties out of the reaches of creditors if he lost his long-running legal battle with the Florida-based sanctuary. And in 2013, Joe Exotic was ordered to pay about $1 million to resolve the lawsuit. And the suit, if you watch the series, it was actually mentioned in the Netflix docuseries.
But at that time, it wasn't, of course, settled.
And Dustin, like Dustin mentioned, it has to do with the use of way too similar imagery, logo, font, all the likeness that's actually created and owned by Big Cat Rescue.
I think he actually called it Big Cat Rescue Entertainment. And it's kind of like,
yeah, that's like, you're doing it on purpose now. It's like, you know, so it sounds like a win for Carol Baskins, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's actually, good, yes, on paper and everything, like for her justice, yes, it's a win, but she's actually not going to get any of the exotic animals.
Oh, so she only gets the property.
The property, because all of the animals is actually going to go to Jeff Lowe.
Oh, and that's why. Oh, you know what? I bet you also that is why Jeff Lowe vacated that property so that he could take everything out of there. And he's like, he probably stripped it down when it's still technically in his name. And he took all of it, moved it out. And now he's kind of like, oh, okay, you want this property? It's now a dump. So it doesn't really, it's not really worth anything. Yeah. So I'm a part of it's kind of like, you know, it's like sad and more sad because it's kind of like the person that we didn't like had, you know, kind of won. And then also the person that, you know, Joe Exotic was also very crazy. And the fact that he tried to have her killed. It's kind of like no one's really a winner in this because everyone's so bad.
Yeah, honestly. I just wanted to put it in the news because it was like a nice little distraction from everything that's happening lately. And I just thought it was interesting because I thought like Tiger King, we've seen it. It was trending and it, you know, it's kind of passed and then, you know, because it happened at the beginning of the COVID. So people were kind of flocked to the titles. That's like, oh my gosh, this is kind of wild, which honestly was wild. And now it's kind of reared its ugly head again. And Carol Baskin also had some controversy surrounding her about like, you know, like the disappearance of her husband. A lot of fingers pointed to her, like, you know, she definitely has something to do with it.
But honestly, I mean, if FBI people and state investigators haven't found anything, you know, there's got to be something to be said about that. But I want to actually comment on what Supersonic Hero 10 said is bottom line, the big losers in all of this are those animals.
Yes.
Those animals get the shit end of the stick.
Yeah, for lack of a better term.
The entire time. And those tigers, all those animals, I mean, they're the ones that are getting treated like property and just kind of getting, you know,
a photo op. Like they're an object. They're not actual living, breathing beings. So that's, if anything, that you take away from that series, it's not about
humans don't do that very well.
Be empathetic towards the other.
Be empathetic towards other living creatures, let alone other living humans.
Yeah. So, but we wanted to go ahead because I saw that I was like, really? We're still allowed. There's development. Okay.
Tiger King equals Alien versus Predator. They're just both bad guys killing each other.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's funny.
Exactly. So the case is still going. No, I think they settled. I think she gets the property. I don't know what she's gonna do with it. She can flatten it. She can, you know, maybe build a second Big Cat Rescue over there if that's what she's all about. But we don't know. I didn't really honestly read that closely to the news. I just kind of read the one article.
Yeah.
About her getting the settlement and or the judgment, and that's pretty much it. So I'm sure Joe Exotic is fuming in his prison cell right now.
Yeah. Well,
fuming.
Yeah, it's kind of going to be kind of interesting to see. I mean, if he ever gets out.
22 years.
Oh, he ain't getting out.
22 years is what I saw. And let's go ahead and move on to our next news topic. And this one is happening today. Universal Studios Orlando has reopened. Now, today and tomorrow are kind of in a way preview for the annual pass holders. And on June 5th is going to open up to the general public.
Okay. So it's kind of like they're bringing in, you're not allowed to buy a ticket and come in. Only if you're a season pass holder,
yes,
you can come in, which is a good way of doing it. It limits down, how many people are going to be able to come in, how many people will come in.
Yep.
And it gives you a way to kind of be like, okay, let's test the waters out and see how this works.
Exactly. And initially for how all this works, according to some of the news articles I read, and this one, I think it was the Orlando Sentinel, annual pass holders were first given the option to sign up for reservations to return to the theme park for today's opening last week. So they had a link, and that's when they sent out the emails to the pass holders with special sign-up links. And it started from the tier, the first, like the most expensive tier of the annual pass holders, and then they trickled down.
Okay.
And then when you click on the link, the pass holders are given the ability to sign up for either today, which is June 3rd, tomorrow, which is June 4th, at various times of arrival throughout the morning. And the idea is to kind of scatter the time, to kind of scatter the crowd, so you wouldn't have a clump of crowd, which defeats the whole purpose of social distancing, because COVID is still definitely a thing. There's still no vaccine, so everybody should continue to take care. Although we also read that even though the times are scattered, there are still lines and groups formed while they're waiting for the entry to the park, because they still have to do like temperature checks and make sure you're wearing masks and you go through security and all of that stuff. So I actually left the article open just so we can kind of look at some of the, Dustin, I kind of look at the pictures. There are lines for queues, and the queues I saw, they have stickers on the floor that says like, stand here, stand here, stand here, much of probably something we are all used to seeing by now.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find in the article where if they talked about they were limiting capacity.
They probably were.
But they probably are. They probably have to for a little while. It's like you can't just open to full capacity after all of this, just like that sounds then without a plan.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's limited. The times are scattered, and I'm sure the times are shorter. So the crew has enough time for like clean up and everything. And I hear that also park goers they have like sanitizing stations all over, whether it's like a sanitizing station that's just up that you can go and do it yourself, or they have an employee with sanitization before you go on the rides, so you're not like touching things and stuff like that.
Oh, and I'm wondering, they're probably doing that too in between each ride.
Yes.
Is that they have to go through so that means the lines are going to be even slower.
Yes.
So you're not going to be
bring your patients if you choose to go to the parks when they open right away. And also for the parades and entertainment, the parades, they came by and they were separated with dancers on board, and the dancers wore masks. Scooby-Doo Day. The Scooby-Doo gang were also wearing masks, and the guests were invited to take selfies with them, but they had to be 6 feet in front of the gang.
Got it.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, and it's nice to hear that they're also protecting their employees. It's not just one of those things that like, oh no, the guests have to do this, but the employees, even if they're face characters, are like, well, we have to be able to see your face. Yeah. Kind of a thing. They're like, no, even they are wearing masks. So
yeah, so we're going to continue to follow this, and we'll continue to talk about it in our future streams, but we wanted to make sure that we let you guys know what is happening at Universal Orlando and what this could mean for us here on the West Coast for all of our theme parks. So let's see some of the comments that you guys are saying.
That the COVID level is pretty much at the same danger level. But, people, it's coming to the point to where, people have to open up. Yeah. So, hopefully we can do it safely with masks. But it's also at one of those points with all the protests going on, with all of the businesses opening up. It's, it's like, well, we're going to have to deal with another spike.
Yeah, we might have to deal with another spike as things slowly reopen. And it's kind of like, because like we still read here and there about like the latest updates from COVID. The last article I read about was that it could be like also a so weird, like a blood vessel disease as well.
Oh, really?
Like, and I'm just like, what the heck is this? Like, it's just, which would explain some of the blood clots that people are experiencing while they're in like a medically induced coma.
Oh.
And like the toe thing, you know. How
the COVID toes.
Yeah, the COVID toes. So it's a whole thing, and I applaud the park employees and their bravery for going out to do this, because like it's their job. So essentially, you essentially almost have to do it. You have to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's your livelihood. So wear your masks if you go.
Be polite.
Be polite. Bring your patients. Do not yell at a cast member. They are just following orders. So yeah, and I also heard that there are areas, various areas, open areas that guests can go, because it is Florida, it is humid, it is hot, where they can take off their masks and
and be like
a little bit before you put it back on. And also a quick reminder about, just for the people who are park goers and have to wear a mask. Yes, it's hot and uncomfortable, because we wear it too when we go outside, to wear it too.
Anytime we go outside
to walk our dogs. And you know, when it gets really hot here, it's kind of, we feel it, and we're only out there for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So when you want to complain about how being inside a mask is really, really hot, and it feels uncomfortable, remember all those parade dancers and performers who are doing this while they're moving, huffing and puffing in a mask with heavy makeup and wigs and costumes.
And not only that, but there are also a lot of them that are going to be in those
do they have to wear a mask inside that?
Probably. Ooh, you know what? They might have to. How bad would it be? Yeah, to be in one of those costumes with the mask on.
Yeah,
so,
like, guys, I've done it. It's hot. It could be the coldest day, and it's hot.
And you're still sweating.
Bullets in there. So be kind to the performers. Be kind to the employees. Bring your patients, and watch out for yourselves. And then let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is also our final topic of the day. And this is, when I read this, I was like, whoa, because we had talked about Ruby Rose exiting the show in a previous stream. And we just found out, and this was via, I think it was Hollywood Reporter. Oh no, I just closed all my notes. All right. Oh, sorry. It was according to Variety. Variety confirmed that the CW and Warner Brothers Television are looking to cast a completely different character for the second season. So this is according to a leaked casting notice. The new lead character is currently named Ryan Wilder. And resources are saying that she could be played by a woman of color. She is described as, she is likable. Or liable. What's very different. I'm just gonna read what I wrote. Liable. I think that was actually likable. Messy, a little goofy, and untamed. She is also nothing like Kate Kane.
I'm actually not familiar with that character.
Me neither. So if you guys know, go ahead and start putting your comments down in the chat or in the comment section and let us know. And here's another quote from the report from Variety. With no one in her life to keep her on track, Ryan spent years as a drug runner, dodging the Gotham City Police Department and masking her pain with bad habits. A girl who would steal milk for an alley cat could also kill you with her bare hands. Whoa. Ryan is the most dangerous type of fighter, highly skilled and wildly undisciplined. An out lesbian, athletic, raw, passionate, fallible, and very much not your stereotypical all-American hero. So what we want to ask you guys is, how does this change the storyline we've seen so far, and how do you think they're going to handle the exiting of the character Kate Kane?
I'm like I said, I'm very not familiar at all with Ryan Wilder. So I know very little on her actual comic book origins and her actual role as Batwoman. So I mean, if I didn't even know that was an option when they announced that Ruby Rose was exiting the series. But I'm really curious on how well known Ryan Wilder.
So we actually have some comments from the chat, and thank you guys for your input. And this comes from Weston and Adam and Steve and Debbie, and I think I'm missing one. And I think that's it. Yes. Okay. So they're saying that basically this character is a new character for the TV show. She is not from the comics. And also, if you guys know anything about casting notices, a lot of the times they will put up a placeholder name. There's been movies and TV shows that I have auditioned for before, and they'll go by a certain name, and then when the show airs, when you look at the credit, they'll be under a completely different name, and they just do it for casting notice purposes, for privacy, and to keep things under wrap. So they could keep the name Ryan Wilder, they could change it by the time season 2 airs. We don't know, but it is good to know that it is a completely different character, not from the comics. How do you guys feel about that? That's kind of what I want to know. Is that something that would continue to pique your interest, so you would continue to watch the show?
True, but let's also not forget where Harley Quinn got her origins from, and that was actually from the Batman cartoon series. I think that's where she made her first appearance.
Instead of the comic books?
It wasn't in the comic books. I believe, I'm pretty sure about this. That's where she made her first appearance. And she is a huge cult icon now. So, you know, you can roll the dice on this. And I think kind of making it a completely new character is probably a smart way to go. Because then you can kind of be free to go in whatever direction you want. You can kind of take information from the fans of the show to see what they want to see and kind of build your own character. However, there's huge complications to that. I mean, there's to try to get it just right. You're going to make some people not happy while some people might be excited. And another idea that might be really interesting is if every season they have a new Batwoman kind of a thing. I don't know if that's
like a good pass idea, the baton kind of a thing.
Where, yeah, it's more of a pass the baton. So it's the mantle of Batwoman that gets passed on.
Interesting. I don't know if I love that. I think maybe it's because I'm a little bit more traditional, where I'm kind of like, well, that was the source material, so therefore you should just carry forward. And I would have liked to see them recast the role instead of creating a whole new character. But I think at this point, with the lead actor exiting the show, and because that news is out there, I think when you go back and watch season 2, everybody's still going to have that on their mind. So I think they want to completely take creativity and go a completely different direction and see what they can make out of it, which I mean, there's good and bad. The bad is that they're not following any sort of like source material. So for their core audience who are comic book fans, that could be kind of like, well, now I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah,
true. Because they wanted to see Kate Kane. I think the good part is that if it's a completely original character created just for the show, they can do so much with her. Yeah. And the possibility is endless.
I'm sorry. The real question is, though, what are they going to do with the original character?
Yes,
are they going to have her retire and like hand over the mantle? Maybe you could still get her back for like one episode. You can get Ruby Rose for one episode of the very beginning season to kind of put everything into to get that ball rolling, and she passes the mantle on to the next Batwoman. Or are they going to kill her? Oof. Which is very possible.
I guess, yeah, that's one way to write a character off the show.
That is usually the main way. If you this actor is not coming back, it's like, sorry, we're going to kill your character.
And a couple of great comments from you guys, from Jack Robbins. He says, it's interesting that they don't rely. Okay, sorry. I thought you were trying to tell me something with your eyes. It's interesting that they don't rely on comics and put new characters, information, and layout. I think it's a good idea. It means you can choose how to present the character, and I have to agree with that. Yeah, you know, they can choose what they want to do. And then let's see. Kay Walton says, I think maybe they have film plans for other Bat Incorporated, Bat Inc. members, Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, and etc. So new character is a way to avoid more film TV comparison. True,
and if you start going in your own direction, you're going to get less and less of that of like, well, it wasn't like this in the comic book kind of a thing. And I have to admit, I get very guilty of this because there are certain moments in comic books that you want to see on screen, certain aspects, certain certain panels that you like, I want to see this in this comic movie adaptation. And when it doesn't happen, I get pissed sometimes. And yet I really shouldn't. But if you're going in a completely new direction where no one has those expectations, then you've already got the audience on board, then it's going to be a lot easier to get the audience more excited about things. They don't know where they're going. They don't know exactly, like, oh, at this point, someone dies. You know, like when Spider-Man came out, I had a problem of saying who dies in the movie. When the movies came out, I'm like, oh my goodness, they're going to do this, and then people are like, what? I'm like, shit. Sorry. So
no more casting on the show.
Sorry.
That's $2 to the swear jar. Because YouTube algorithm and whatnot.
But yeah, so being able to go in your very own direction is sometimes very freeing, and sometimes you strike gold, like what happened with Harley Quinn.
Exactly. And I also like this comment from Debbie, who have been watching the show, and she says she likes the show. I trust Greg Berlanti and his staff, but it seems that the show is basically going to be rebooted. There's so much mythology already tied in. Oh, I gotta find her second comment. Wait.
Oh.
To the Arrowverse. Oh yeah, that's right.
That's true. They did a lot.
Earth. Oh,
they did a lot with, especially when they had Constantine.
Yes. Wow. I didn't think about that. See, this is why we like talking with you guys who have, because we haven't had a chance to watch Batwoman yet, but we can now because isn't it on HBO Max? It's on Hulu.
I don't know.
It's on one of those things that we can watch.
I don't know. Oh, so we can watch it.
Yeah, we can watch it.
Oh yeah, that's right. HBO.
Steve says they should keep the Kate Kane character. Other shows has done recast before. Adding new character doesn't make sense. See, that's like how I really feel. Like, and this kind of throws back to Blake GTR's comment too. He said it wasn't like the Batman animated series replaced Batman with Harley Quinn, and that's kind of what it feels like. So it's a good like note that you gave about how Harley Quinn's origin started, but Batwoman actually already existed, and then now.
No, that is a good point. That is a really, I mean, for Harley Quinn, she was very much a side character. She wasn't like the Batman kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. So it was very much being able to play around with a new character that isn't the mantle support is a lot different than replacing Batman or in this case, Batwoman.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting, and we will see if any more news comes out regarding Batwoman. But we are feeling mixed feelings, if you will. Like a new original character is exciting, but at the same time, you want to see the main character who exists already in. Like we finally get a Batwoman show.
Yeah.
And then now it's kind of like, well, sorry for the character that you know,
and that you've fallen in love with.
Right. So that is going to be quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So sorry, just another comment from Debbie because she's been watching the show. Kate Kane was really connected to Bruce Wayne, and with the way the season ended, it seems like the show will be completely rebooted. If that's the case, then maybe a new character would be a good thing.
Yeah.
It just really takes away from the main titular character from the comic books.
I think it would kind of be interesting,
but
though,
storytelling-wise.
Yeah, storytelling-wise, if they do kind of pass the mantle on to a new Batwoman, and then maybe in like a season or two, if Batwoman keeps going, then they can switch it again, and it's the passing around of this mantle. That might be interesting.
Yeah.
But then again, it's also kind of like, well, then you have to worry about recasting, and it's kind of like having to do Robin over and over and over again. To where sometimes
over and over and over
sometimes you strike gold. Some people are like, yeah, I like this new rendition of Robin, and sometimes people are like, oh my God, just kill him.
Oh no.
Like what they did to Jason until he came back as the Red Hood.
Right.
Then everyone's like, oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because I remember people did not like Jason Todd. Or did not like him when he was Robin.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, heck, they voted, should he live, should he die? And they voted. In the episode where the Joker beats him to death, there was a moment to like, what happens to Robin?
For the audience?
Yeah, and people had a number that they could call in, and they chose to kill him because no one liked him. So, but then they were like, okay, this is what the fans want.
What? Well, I did not know that. That's really interesting, and I had no idea that
Bring a Batwoman in from a different universe. Since there's Crisis on Infinite Earth, the new Batwoman could be from one of the different universes that they bring in to our universe. So,
yep, that's actually a very good point, and thank you for Blade for pointing that out.
That was a really good. I'm like, oh yeah, they could so do that.
Yeah. Really, really, really good point. Well, you guys, I know it's a really short show today. But we hope you enjoyed hanging out with us during this period, talking about movie news and Disney and Carol Baskin and Animal Crossing. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back on Saturday with a new stream. And we haven't decided like if we want to bring back Mad Lib or not. So go ahead and comment in the comment section or in the chat before we go if you would like to see us bring that back. Oh my God, my throat's so dry today. All I had this morning was coffee. I don't drink enough water. I need one of those. I might get one of those water bottles that with the line marking on it.
Yeah.
That says like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., whatever. Like it's just, or because apparently water reminders. I used to have like an app that was like drink your water. I like never did it. I never did it.
I do.
So it was so sad.
I probably don't drink enough water either, especially now that it's getting hotter, so we're sweating it all out.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's time to drink some water.
It's time to drink water. Make sure you guys drink water out there wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in. Adam wrote something about the Jason thing. The audience of the time voted for Jason to die. The pro was that later we got Tim Drake as the third Robin. The con is that we basically committed homicide.
We committed homicide of a superhero.
So terrible. It's like, you choose the outcome. And then you're like, everybody's like, no, just kill him.
I think the writers weren't expecting that that the fans were going to kill off Jason. And then when they got it, they were like, oh my gosh, they really killed him.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, this is what they want.
Oh my gosh.
So it's interesting. It's interesting when you get fans involved, and it's the complete opposite of what you thought they were going to do.
Yeah, I like the one where it's like nobody dies. It's just like, who do you think wins? Because like if you lose a battle, it doesn't mean you like die. It just means it could.
Unless the bad guy wins, kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, well then that's just as bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
you choose the bad. I mean, you could anyways. That's a whole conversation. From Star Drew, what is the platform you stream your games on? I don't really have the ability to stream Animal Crossing right now because that's honestly all I would be streaming. But we really want to. I really want to get a setup where we could stream not just games, but we also want to stream board games.
Yes. I mean, we got a Pandemic that I would love to stream some rounds of Pandemic. Especially in Castle Panic. I love cooperative games. So, and I would love to see if we can find a way to stream it when it's like you and I playing.
We would need 2 cameras.
Able to have like if people wanted to drop in a super chat, they can actually affect what we do in the game.
Ooh, okay. So here are some of the roadblocks that we are facing for streaming because we still
need the equipment.
Yeah, we do have a Twitch account. It's just the Movie Couple on Twitch. We don't really have any contents on there. We might take the show and we might just dual stream on YouTube and Twitch.
Oh.
But that's still kind of the required, equipment is what you guys see, which is a 1 camera setup. But for streaming, I would need to get a capture card. And I wouldn't be able to stream on the laptop that you're watching us, that I do all my editing and streaming from right now, which is a 2015 laptop, 2016.
Oh, no. We got
2014.
We got this before we got married.
I got this before I worked for AMC/Collider.
And
that was 5 years ago.
No. Well, because, you got this before we got married.
Okay.
And we got married in 2014.
So 2013, this laptop is...
How am I better with the dates on when we got married?
I don't, because
I'm terrible with that. I mean, I went to great lengths to make sure that our wedding, proposal, and our dating anniversary all ended up on one day so I don't forget them. But
I just have a problem with the date I remember.
Yeah.
It's the year that I get confused.
I know you got this before we got married because we were still in the North
cockroach apartment.
The cockroach apartment.
Oh,
so
God.
This is at least 6-7 year old computer.
Yeah.
If not more.
So the plan is, and this is where, and thank you so much, AMR Nail, for coming and joining us, and thank you for your super chat. Appreciate you coming by the stream, even if it's late. Don't worry, we love having you around. Blake G-Tar says, before AMC, that was a while ago. Yeah, that was, I got hired. I accepted the job in 2015, yes?
Are you sure? No. Because
September
we were still
of 2015.
You accepted the job when we were still in North Hollywood.
September of 2014.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would love to stream some different board games. I'm starting to do some DMing for Dungeons and Dragons, and I would love to be able to stream some of that, to get some of my friends that play D&D with me on, to be able to just do some little,
like a one-off,
some one-offs,
kids on bikes,
kids on bikes.
What's the witch one?
Oh, The Witch is Dead.
Oh,
the guy, I think the guy who wrote Kids on Bikes is the same guy who wrote The Witch is Dead. Mm-hmm. And what happens is there's a witch, and you can decide whether she's a good witch or a bad witch, and she has all of these familiars. And somehow, and you get to play as the familiar animals. So you get to pick whatever animal you want. And somehow the witch either dies or is killed, and the familiars have to go on an adventure to either save her or to find out who did it and kill them. Yeah. And it's very open-ended. Yeah. And I've played it once with a friend of mine who did an amazing job on GMing it. And it was so much fun. Also, if you want to find some new role-playing games, I am a part of a group that is on Inkborn on YouTube. And you can go to Inkborn. I don't think it's inkborn.com. I think it's inkborn.net. And we play a game called the 9 Trials, where you're cats trying to get into cat society by having to accomplish these 9 trials. Yeah. So we're starting to do that, and I'm hoping we can start doing some more board games, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. But it takes time, money, and equipment.
It takes equipment. So basically the plan is to get a new laptop first, because this one, every time it updates, something stops working because it's that old. So I'm worried that one day I'm not going to be able to edit videos anymore. And that will be the day where I have to go to the store and be like, take my money. So we would have to get, in order to stream video games, we could probably do a very low quality board game stream with just one camera, I think.
Yeah, we can probably do it like this and set it up.
We'll have to play around and see what happens. So we'll keep you guys updated on the board game stuff, because that'll probably come before any sort of video games. But for the video games, I would also need a capture card, a monitor, or I guess I could just plug it into the TV, but then I'm capitalizing our one TV that we have, which kind of sucks. But monitors luckily are not too expensive, so that's a good thing. So yeah, it just takes a little bit of time, some funding. So we are working towards it. In case you guys ever wonder what your super chats go to, it goes into a separate little fund that we have, and we'll record everything, and and we kind of build towards that. So everything that you guys contribute is to help make our platform a little bit better and more entertaining for you guys. So it will happen. Can you stream trivia one day? Ooh. Maybe we can find some good questions, and we can
maybe we can
fun trivia.
I was gonna say maybe we can have late to the party, but then I was like, wait, no, they'll kick our butts.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're not.
They're actually trivia competitors.
We could host it, and we could bring some of our YouTube friends to it, but we just won't compete in it because we would be maybe
we can be the announcers.
Yeah, maybe. But if you are looking for trivia stuff, there's always Movie Trivia Schmodown. It's been around forever, and it's intense, but it's good fun. If you want to watch that, it's just on they have their own network now.
Oh yeah. The Schmodown Network or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, SEN. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on Saturday. And as always, we appreciate your support so much. Be safe out there, drink water, and we will see you on Saturday for our stream. Bye. Yay.